a science-based competition conducted every year by Science Olympiad Foundation. And children, please hold on. Okay. Students of classes 1 to 12 are eligible to take this Olympiad. It aims at observing and supporting future scientists and technologists at the school level, and it provides exposure to students both at national and international platforms. Now, how is NSO important to us? Children, we are living in the world driven by science and technology. And science, it is an essential element of our daily lives. Either we are sleeping or we are awake, we are continuously governed by the principles of science. For example, when you are sleeping, your body is continuously working for you. Your heart keeps pumping blood to your body parts. Your food that you ate before eating, it keeps digesting when you are sleeping. And you are breathing even without knowing. So this is all happening due to some scientific phenomenon. Similarly, when you are awake, the activities which you do, they are all governed by some scientific principles. Like playfully, when you jump from bed, you are certainly not going to fly in the air. You will definitely fall down. So this is also according to some rule of science. And children, now you all know that we are facing this coronavirus pandemic. We all are restricted to our homes, and we are taking our classes online. This internet, it has enabled us to continue our education in such a situation. And some of you must be taking online classes through mobile. Some must be using a laptop, and still others must be using a tablet. So all these gadgets, they are the gifts of science. So science is the most important channel of knowledge. It is vital for creating new knowledge and improving the quality of life. Children, the advancement of scientific knowledge has taken the comforts and luxuries of our lives to the next level. For example, in ancient times when the discovery of wheel was still pending, humans, they used to travel from one place to another using any animal like a horse or a camel or an elephant. But then with the advancement in the scientific knowledge, they discovered wheel, and wheel was a revolution. Then they made wheel cart that was dragged by horse. Okay. Then with some more progress in their scientific knowledge, they discovered simple machines. Then bicycles, they came into existence. And when complex machines were known, then we had motorcycles and then four wheelers, and then the list goes on. And now we have an array of high profile four wheelers like cars, you know. So we are progressing day by day. Science is adding a quality to our lives. So you see, the world is dominated by science. So developing scientific aptitude among young learners is the main objective of Science Olympiad, so that the children, they are equipped to live in a world dominated by science. The National Science Olympiad, that is NSO, is a platform for showcasing the talent of young learners. Okay, NSO helps in augmenting scientific skills of students. Okay, by fortifying their observing skills, problem solving skills, analytical skills, and it inculcates the spirit of competition among students. So, winning the competition increases the self confidence among students. So, you see how it is helping in all round holistic development. That is why we say that NSO is important for the children of present generation. Now, how MTG Olympiad preparation program is going to help you to take these Olympiads? It provides complete syllabus coverage. Okay, the first and the foremost thing that was kept in mind while designing this course was to take your entire syllabus into consideration. Whatever is prescribed at your level will be taken up properly. In fact, whatever you have been studying in your school, that too in a conventional manner, it will be taken in a more improvised way, because children, you are here to give Olympiads. So your preparation should also be up to the level, to the next level. So we are focusing on giving extra edge to your preparation. Whatever you have studied in a conventional manner, that will be taught to you in a more improvised, innovative way. Syllabus will be same, but yes, the key points, they will be highlighted in a different manner. Now the class will have small number of students, batch size will be small, so individual attention to each and every student will be given. Okay, And every student will get a chance to present himself or herself, and our queries will be entertained that way. So the doubt related to the topic will be dealt by learned faculties. In each and every class, there will be two teachers, children. One will be your main teacher who will teach you and obviously will take your intermittent doubts. And the other one will be your co-teacher. She will entertain your queries in the chat box. So your doubts will be cleared in each and every possible way. Now, children, without assessment, the teaching learning process is incomplete. Unless and until you know how much you have learned, you will never be able to understand your weaker and your stronger areas. So, there is a provision of proper assessment in this course. In each class, there will be intermittent questionnaires, like a teacher will teach you a topic and then she will ask some questions under practice time. Okay. And then in order to give more edge to your preparation, she will ask NSO questions that are related to that topic. And she will discuss each and everything, each and every question, doubts, then and there after each topic. So they are minimum 2 to 3 practice times in each class. At the end of the session, there will be a quiz for you wherein you will be attempting the questions and you will come to know that how much you have learned and understood in today's session. Then at the end of the week, there will be a provision of weekend test wherein you can attempt a summative test kind of thing wherein whatever have been taught in the entire week will be asked from you. So you will keep assessing yourself also, then how much you have learned in each session, and it will be easier for us also to understand your weaker and stronger areas. And the Olympiad problems which are related to the topic, the teachers, they are all learned. They will tell you the simple tricks how to attempt those questions. Okay. So this is a quick recapitulation. Whatever I have told you, the main features of this program are live classes, syllabus coverage. We have decided to cover your syllabus in 20 to 25 sessions. Okay, there will be 20 to 25 classes per subject. And small batch size will be there, which will enable individual attention to all of you. Challenging exercises, children, the questions asked here will be a bit different. They will be based on application level, not only your simply knowing and understanding, but they will be more challenging. Then doubt clearance will be taken very seriously so that every child understands whatever has been taught in the class. And timely assessments that are very important and key to success. Now, why Olympiad preparation needs special training? So children, questions are not simple and understanding based as asked in school exam. The questions that are there in your Olympiad exams, they are quite different. Although they are based on your syllabus, but still the pattern of questions is quite unfamiliar. Okay, and there is some strategy which is required to attempt those questions. All right. So many times students, they find it difficult to finish the test in stipulated time. So they need to learn time management also, because time management is a very important part when you have to succeed, because sometimes we know everything, but due to lack of time or shortage of time, we are unable to attend all the questions. And this is the reason, this is the one point which decides, which gives a fine line that who will be the winner. So let's dive to see what kind of questions they come in NSO. So children, many kinds of questions they are asked in NSO. Here I'm going to show you some examples of some categories of questions that are asked in Olympiads. The purpose is to make you aware that what kind of questions come. Don't worry about the content, because you will be taught each and everything in your classes. It is just to acquaint you that what kind of questions they come. Questions based on classification chart. So children, here is a question from NSO workbook. Let us try to solve it. See, a classification chart is based on the basic idea that something is classified. Something is there which is being divided into certain categories. Here, refer to the given classification chart and identify P and Q. Here, children, first of all, what we need to do is we need to see what is being categorized. So here we can see that food is being categorized into energy giving food and bodybuilding food. Now, the question is, what is P and what is Q? Definitely, P is an example of energy giving food. Similarly, Q is an example of bodybuilding food. Now we need to closely observe each and every option. Where both P and Q are correct, only that option will be held
Ma'am,
as
option
correct.
D.
Option D. Okay, children, let me discuss. See, first of all, before arriving to any answer, we need to critically analyze each and every option, children. This is very important. Do not rush to any answer all of a sudden. First of all, you need to see that which option is completely correct. So let us try. P here in option A is ghee. Ghee is an example of fat. And children, energy giving food, they can be carbohydrates also and they can be fats also. So here ghee is correct. Then pulses. Pulses, they are proteins. They are sources of proteins and bodybuilding food is protein. So Q can also be, Q is also correct over here. So as both P and Q are correct, so option A seems to be correct. But in order to hold it correct, we need to rule out the other three options, that is B, C, and D. In option B, cereals is P is cereals. Yes, cereals are also energy giving food. But chapati is also made up of cereals. Chapati is not energy giving food. It is not bodybuilding food. It can be categorized into energy giving food. So here, as Q is incorrect, so option B will be incorrect because chapati is not an example of bodybuilding food. It is an example of energy giving food. Similarly, here P is it is indicated as milk. So milk is a complete food. It gives us everything. And then Q here again chapati. Chapati is not a bodybuilding food. It is an energy giving food. So here option C is also incorrect. Then we come to option D. One of the child prompted option D. Let us see why it is incorrect. Here P is bread. That is right. Bread is an energy giving food. So P is correct. But cereals, again, they are energy giving food. They are not bodybuilding foods. So here, just because Q is incorrect, the entire option is incorrect. So, children, the main thing which you have to look into such kind of questions is first of all, you need to closely observe what is being categorized. Then you have to see कि what is being asked. आपसे कैटेगरी पूछी जा रही है कि आपसे उस कैटेगरी का एग्जाम्पल पूछा जा रहा है. इट कुड हैव बीन द रिवर्स ऑल्सो. ऊपर आपको पी देकर नीचे उसका एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हैं. ओके, इफ आई राइट ओवर हियर बटर, सो बटर इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एनर्जी गिविंग फूड. सो यू हैव टू राइट हियर कि यहाँ पे क्या पूछ रहे हैं. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू क्लोजली ऑब्जर्व कि क्या चीज कैटेगराइज हो रही, व्हाट इज बीइंग कैटेगराइज्ड एंड व्हाट इज बीइंग आस्क्ड एज क्लू. And before giving the correct answer, you should closely observe all the options, and then after holding them incorrect, then you will select the correct option. Okay, so here the option A is the correct answer. Now, again another classification chart, children. Again the same technique we have to use. First of all, you need to see that which thing is being classified. Again here we can see that we are classifying animals into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. So here we are classifying animals on the basis of their feeding habits. Now again, these 1, 2, 3, they represent a herbivore, a carnivore, and an omnivore respectively. So now let us see what the question asks. Refer to the given flowchart and select the correct option regarding it. So they are asking the correct, what can be kept at 1, what can be kept at 2, and what can be placed at 3. So let us see each and every option one by one. We have done our first step, that we have just figured it out that what has been classified and what is being asked. Now let us see what is there in option A. 1 is cow. Children, cow is a herbivore, so 1 is correct over here. Then 3 is bear. So 3 is an omnivore and bear is an omnivore. So as both the variables are correct, 1 is correct, 3 is correct. So option A seems to be correct. But again, before holding it as correct, we need to rule out the other three options also. Here, option B says that 2 can be crow. We can place crow at 2. But crow is an omnivorous bird. So we cannot keep crow at 2. Similarly, squirrel, it is also omnivore. So 3 is correct, but 2 is incorrect. That is why option B is incorrect. Then C, we are placing fox at 1. But fox is an omnivore. It is not a herbivore. So that is why option C is also incorrect. And D, 1 is eagle. No, eagle is a carnivorous bird. It is not a herbivore. As here, it is also incorrect. So option D is also incorrect. So the correct answer is option A. Now let us move on to the next category, that is selecting odd one out type. Now children, here is another question from your workbook. Here we have to put our logic. Here the main idea behind this question is that three options, they will be grouped as one and one will be standing out. It will be odd one among the other three. Okay, so we have to find out which option stands out, and for that we have to put in some logic. For that you need to closely observe each and every option. Now here if I take example of this question, it says A nylon, B silk, C wool and D cotton. So children, here we can see that we are talking about fibers. Okay, silk, wool, cotton and nylon. Now we have to see how is one fiber different from the other. Children, silk is obtained from animal. Wool is also obtained from animal. So both silk and wool, they are animal fibers. But cotton is obtained from plants. So it is a plant fiber. And this nylon, it is a man-made fiber. It is synthetic. It is not obtained from nature. So now we know that silk and wool, they are animal products, whereas cotton is a plant product. It means these three fibers, they are obtained from the nature, they are obtained from the living organisms, whereas this is a synthetic fiber. It means nylon is the odd one out among the three. Okay, so the correct option is answer is A. Now, questions based on Venn diagram. So children, here is a question from your workbook. Now let us see and discuss it. The basic idea behind Venn diagram is, it is a diagram of overlapping circles. There can be two circles or there can be three circles. It depends. And there is some or the other feature listed in each circle. Now the overlapping part of the circle means that whatever you will place over here, it will have the characters of both the circles. Okay, here there are these three circles. Oh, and let us read what is written. The first step, you have to see what is the Venn diagram talking about. Here this circle is saying breathes through lungs. This one is saying breathes through skin. And this one is saying breathes through gills. Here we are talking about the breathing structures of animals. Okay. Now this P, Q, R, these represent some animals. Similarly, X, Y and Z, they also represent some animal. Now how are these animals different from each other? Now let us try to find out. Let us talk about P. P is supposed to be an animal that breathes through lungs. Okay. Similarly, Q is supposed to be an animal that breathes through skin, whereas animal R, it breathes through gills. But what about these animals X, Y and Z? Children, I have just told you that when two circles overlap, the overlapping portion has common characteristics. So this animal is going to have both these breathing structures. It will breathe through skin also and it will breathe through gills also. Similarly, Y. Y can be any animal who can breathe through lungs and through skin. Similarly, Z will be an animal which can breathe through lungs and gills. So I hope it is clear to you that whatever variable is kept in the overlapping part of the circle, it will have the characteristics of both the circles. Whereas those which are present in the circle, they will have only that character. Animal P cannot breathe through skin. Similarly, animal R cannot breathe through skin. So let us see what the question is talking about. Study the Venn diagram carefully. Which alphabet represents tadpole? So children, tadpole is the young one of a frog. It is an aquatic animal. It lives in water and it breathes through gills. So here R can be a tadpole because it does not breathe through lungs. It does not breathe through skin. It has gills for breathing in water. So here option A is the correct answer. That is R. Okay, R is the animal which can be a tadpole. Now children, another category of questions which is very frequently asked in your Olympiads is graph based question. Children, the idea of graph is it is made up of two lines. One is horizontal one and the other one is the vertical one. Both these lines, they meet at a point and the Horizontal line, it is called x-axis, whereas the vertical line, it is called y-axis. Generally, we represent categories on the x-axis and their amount is represented by the y-axis. The more you go up on the y-axis, the higher is the amount. And more you come down on the y-axis, the lower is the amount. So here you can see that in x-axis on the horizontal line, we have listed some food nutrients. This is carbohydrate, this is roughage, and this is protein. And this is showing their amount, okay? This amount corresponds to this line. This amount corresponds to this line, whereas this amount corresponds to this line. So it shows different amounts of food nutrients present in a food item X. Food item X is a food item wherein carbohydrate is present in this amount, roughage is present in medium amount, and protein is also present in medium amount. Carbohydrate is present in highest amount. Now let us see what the question asks. The given graph shows the amount of some nutrients in food item X. Which of the following can be X? Now let us closely look at the options. Here option A is cheese. Cheese is the source of protein. It has highest amount of protein. But here you cannot see you can see protein, but it is also having large amount of carbohydrates and roughage. So food item X cannot be cheese. Similarly, egg. Egg has carbohydrates and proteins, and protein are in very high amount. Carbohydrates are comparatively less, and roughage is not present in an egg. So egg is also incorrect. Now let us come to option C. Option C is idli. Idli is made up of rice and pulses. So idli has rice is a cereal, so idli has carbohydrates, idli has protein, and idli has roughage also. So food item X is most probably idli. Then option D is butter. Butter is full of fats. Okay, so it cannot be the correct answer. So this is how we figure out what is being asked in the graph. You have just to see. You have to see the analysis and comparative analysis, like carbohydrates, roughage, protein are given in this graph. You have just to see that whose amount is highest as compared to the others. Okay, and in that way you will find out the correct answer. Now, the next category of question which is asked in your Olympiads is figure-based questions. You will be given a figure and some of its parts will be labeled. You will be asked to identify that part and then select the correct and incorrect option regarding it. So children, here is a question. You can see this figure. This is a figure of a mangrove plant. Okay. Mangrove are the plants that grow in swampy and marshy areas. स्वाम्पी एंड मार्शी एरिया मीन्स कीचड़ दलदली एरिया में होते हैं जहाँ की सॉइल जो होती है दैट इज वेरी स्टिकी. So the roots, they do not get proper air to breathe because they are present in the soil. So the roots of these plants, they come up above the ground and they absorb oxygen air directly from the air. Okay, and these aerial roots, they are called pneumatophores. So the question is based on this concept only. Okay, now let us see what the question is asking. Identify the structure X shown in the picture and select the correct statement regarding it. Now, statement A is X is called pneumatophore and it is found in plants growing in marshy areas. So, this seems to be correct. I just told you that mangroves are the plants that grow in marshy areas and they have aerial roots which help in absorption of oxygen. These roots are called pneumatophores. Now, let us also see the other options. What are they saying? X is called lenticel and is found in plants growing in desert areas. So this is not a lenticel, and mangroves, they are not found in desert areas. So this option B is incorrect. Option C is X is called pneumatophore and is found in plants growing in desert areas. Now, identification is correct. The statement has correctly identified that the structure X is pneumatophore, but they have the other part of the statement is incorrect, that it is found in plants growing in desert areas. Actually, pneumatophores, they are found in the plants growing in marshy areas, swampy areas. So option C is also incorrect. Now, Option D says X is called lenticel and is found in plants growing in hilly areas. So it is incorrect. This is not a lenticel and it is not found in the plants growing in hilly areas. So option A is the correct answer. So in figure-based question, you need to first of all identify the figure, and you have also to identify which part has been labeled and asked, and then you have to select the correct and incorrect option regarding it. Children, we need to be very careful when we are selecting the correct and incorrect option. Okay, because sometimes out of carelessness we are asked about the correct and we unknowingly we select the incorrect option. It happens. So we very sure कि आपने जो मार्क किया है करेक्ट पूछा है या इनकरेक्ट पूछा है. इसमें कई बार कंफ्यूजन होती है and sometimes children they mark incorrect answers. Now, statement type questions. Children, in statement type questions, you can be asked statements related to one particular topic, or the statements they can be randomly from any different topics that you will see. Here, let us read the questions. Statement 1 says that cooking makes the food soft, tasty, and easy to chew and digest. So cooking makes the food soft, it makes it tasty also, and it is easy to chew and digest also. So statement 1 is correct. Now, statement 2 says reheating the food again and again restores the nutrients in the food. So when we cook the food again and again, the nutrients they are lost because heat it destroys the nutrients present in an overcooked food. So statement 2 is incorrect. Now, let us see what is statement 3 saying. Eating junk food very often can lead to health problems. That is quite correct. Junk food, it is not good for our health. They are tasty to eat, but they are palatable, but they are not healthy options. People they can have different kind of health problems by eating junk food. So option C is also incorrect. Is correct. Sorry, statement 3 is correct. Now statement 4. Old people need food that is raw and hard to chew. Now children, old people they are very weak. They have weak jaws. Sometimes their teeth are also lost. So they need the food that is very that is cooked and that is soft to chew. So statement 4 is incorrect. Now here we have to first segregate that which statements are correct and which statements are incorrect. Here statement 1 is correct and statement 3 is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct, whereas statement 2 and 4 are incorrect. Now you have to look for the option that has the correct combination of statements. Here option A is saying that 1, 2 and 3 are correct, but actually 2 is incorrect. So this is not correct option. Then option B is saying statement 3 and 4 are correct. But here we know that statement 4 is incorrect. So this option is also ruled out. Now option C says 1 and 3 are correct. Yes, that is a correct combination of statements. So option C is the correct answer. D is obviously incorrect because 3 only is not correct. Okay, 1 and 3 are correct. So here the correct answer is option C. Now we have paragraph based questions. There will be a paragraph given to you and you have to read that paragraph and understand what is given in that paragraph. You can be asked about some clue. For example, in this paragraph, X, Y, and Z, three letters are there, and you have to identify what are these. And then you have to solve the correct and incorrect option regarding them. Now read the given passage and select the correct option regarding the food nutrients X, Y, and Z. People who do a lot of physical work, such as laborers, need to eat more of X. So those who do a lot of work, they need a lot of energy. So they need more of energy giving food. So X could be carbohydrate. Now, Y builds our muscles and helps us to grow. So we need proteins to build our muscles and to grow also, to repair our body also. So Y can be protein. Y is therefore known as bodybuilding food. So proteins are bodybuilding foods. Now Z gives us more energy than X. Now children, there are two types of energy giving food. One is fat and one is carbohydrates. Fats, they give us more energy as compared to carbohydrates. So in this paragraph, we have come to know that X is a carbohydrate, Y is protein, and Z is fat. Now we have identified all these X, Y, and Z. Now let us see what the options have to say about these X, Y, and Z. Fruits have simple X, hence are digested quickly, whereas wheat, corn, rice, potato, etc. have complex X, hence take more time to get digested. Children, we can eat food raw because they have simple sugars, they get easily digested. But whenever it comes to wheat, corn, you have to cook them and then eat them because they have got very complex sugars that cannot be digested as such. So they have to be cooked properly and then eaten. So option A is correct. Now, why helps to repair damaged body parts? Yes, proteins, they help us to repair our body parts. We eat too much of Z, it gets stored in our body as fat. Children, fat, when we take a lot of fatty food, we consume lot of fatty food, we become fat because that fat, it gets stored in our body. So here all the statements A, B, C, all the options are correct. So in such case, when all the options are correct, we will take option D as the correct answer. But children, it is not necessary that when all the three statements are correct, only then you will get this all of these answers. Sometimes only one statement is correct. It is only given to confuse you that maybe all the statements are correct. That is why all of these is given over here. No, all of these is incorrect answer. If in case where all the options are not correct, here it is correct. In this paragraph, D is the correct option because A, B, C, all the statements are correct, all the options are correct. But it is not necessary that every time if all of these is there in the option, you will take it. No, you will read all the statements. Maybe only one of them is correct or two of them is correct. That depends on the question. So here option D is the correct answer. Now, questions based on table. Children, here you will be given a table and there will be segregation of characters. Here you can see the table is talking about animals and their characters. Here animal P, animal Q, animal R. We are not naming the animals, we are just uh, giving a clue that this could be any animal, you have to figure it out. And here are the characteristics that it breathes through spiracles, it breathes through skin, it is a herbivore or an omnivore. These ticks, they represent yes or present. These crosses, they represent no or absent. Okay, now let us see. Let us first, in such kind of questions, we need to first of all identify and analyze and then come to the question. Here, first of all, we will see that what animal P is having, what animal Q is having, and what animal R is having. So here, children, animal P, it breathes through spiracles, okay, and it is an omnivore. So animal P is any animal who's omnivore and who is breathing through spiracles. It could be any insect. Insects, they have spiracles for breathing. Okay, these are special structures, they are present in insects. Then animal Q is breathing through skin. Okay, but it is not a herbivore, not an omnivore. So definitely it is going to be a carnivore. Such kind of questions, when both these characters have been marked crossed, obviously the third will be the correct one. Here we have three categories of animals based on eating habits: herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores. If herbivore is crossed, omnivore is crossed, then certainly the third category will be the feature of this animal Q. So animal Q is an animal that breathes through skin, and that is a carnivore. Now animal R, it is breathing, it is a herbivore. Okay, only one characteristic is stated in this table, that it is herbivore. It is neither breathing through spiracles, it is not breathing through skin. So let us see what is question. Question is, which of these animals is cockroach and frog respectively? So children, cockroach is an insect and frog is an amphibian. So here cockroach is an insect. So animal P can be cockroach because cockroach, it breathes through spiracles and it is an omnivore. So P is cockroach. Now what can be frog? Here I think animal Q can be frog because it is breathing through skin. Frog can breathe through skin. It can also breathe through lungs. Okay. It is breathing through skin and it is a carnivore. So let us see which option correctly has the combination P and Q? Option A says Q and R. No, Q cannot be, cockroach cannot be Q. Okay, cockroach cannot be Q because Q is an animal which is breathing through skin, but cockroach breathes through spiracles. Then R, frog cannot be R because R is an animal which is a herbivore. All right. So option A is incorrect. Now let us see option B. Option B says that cockroaches are. No, R is an animal that is herbivore and cockroach is omnivore. So R cannot be cockroach. And frog is P. No, frog is not animal P because animal P is an omnivore which breathes through spiracles. So option B is incorrect. Now here the correct answer is option C. P is animal P could be cockroach which breathes through spiracles and is an omnivore, whereas animal Q could be frog which breathes through skin and it is a carnivore. So here answer is option C. So children, in such kind of questions, first you need to find out what is being asked. For example, here you have been given three different kinds of animals. You need to first of all know that what is their characteristics and what these animals could be. Okay, and then you will select the correct option. Correct option also you have to see which option has both the combinations in the correct form. Only that or that option you will take as correct option. Now match the following type questions. Children, these types of questions are also asked wherein two columns are there. In one column certain things are listed, in the other column certain things are listed, and then you have to match them, and then you need to see which option has all the correct matching. Okay, this question is quite time taking and you need to be very patient and very observant while attempting such questions. Now let us see here. Column A has vitamins, different vitamins, and column 2 has deficiency diseases. Okay, now we need to match the vitamin with its deficiency disease. Now let us do it one by one. Vitamin A, deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. Deficiency of vitamin B causes beriberi. Deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy, whereas deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets. So you need to write down somewhere and then you need to match. Then P is going with K. Okay. Then Q is going with L and R is going with I and S is going with M. Now you need to carefully look which option has these correct codes and then you need to take the answer carefully. So here answer is option B. So children, that was all. I hope you have understood. The purpose of today's session was just to give you a brief insight into what science olympiads are and what kind of questions they are asked and how this particular program which has been designed, it will be helpful to you all. So children, in case you have any query, you can ask.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, when will you send the schedule? I mean, on weekdays the classes will be there.
You are not audible, ma'am. Can you please speak a little up?
Ma'am, schedule. I'm talking about on which days we will have a classes.
Okay,
uh,
Classes.
ma'am.
Usha ma'am, will you please assist
Yes,
ma'am
yes.
regarding this?
Ma'am, schedule will be shared to you by today evening or earliest by tomorrow morning. So we our all classes are starting from Monday onwards, and the detailed schedule will be shared to you all who have registered by today evening or by tomorrow morning.
And ma'am, timing will be 4:30 only.
Ma'am, science timings. I think it was given in the screen when you have registered.
Timing were not given, ma'am. I mean, in schedule it will be given. Is it so?
Actually, ma'am, the timings are different for different classes. So, in which class your student is in?
Six, class six.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, we will share the class 6 timing to you soon. So,
Okay,
yeah, it is tentative right now. We will share it.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Anyone else wants to ask something? So all your
Good
doubts are
morning.
clear? Yes. Good evening. I think, ma'am, everybody is clear with the session today.
Students, if you have any queries, or if you have any, if you have any query related to the questions that we have discussed, or any syllabus, anything, if you want to ask, you can ask. Or if you have any queries offline also, I will just share the information in the chat box. You can share any queries, any information that you need to the WhatsApp number, which is 8800020893, or you can email us at mtgonlineclass@mtg.in. I have shared these information in the chat box. So if you have any queries offline also, you can share your queries on this WhatsApp number, or you can email us on mtgonlineclass@mtg.in. I will share the WhatsApp number once again. It is 8800020893. I have shared in the chat box also. So I hope this session is well understood to all.
Most of your cameras are
Yes,
off, children. Can you please switch on your cameras? Show me your faces at least. Okay, we have so many beautiful, lovely faces, smiling faces.
Okay, so this was the session actually for giving you an understanding about how we are going to conduct Olympiad preparation program, and from the actual schedule, we will cover the syllabus topic wise. So in the topic wise syllabus, we will discuss with each students about how what have they learned till so far, and how they want to learn it. And it will be a lot of interactive session when we actually take the topics from the Monday onwards classes.
So children, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Show me your thumbs up if you enjoyed. At least oh, so many thumbs up. Thank you, children. See you soon in the next class. Okay then. Bye bye. Take care. You can leave the session now if you don't have any queries.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.